Hey guys, it's Scott again with another real quick how-to video. Today what I'm going to show you is, have you ever had a hole in your drywall and didn't know how quite to cover it up? Well, I have one here because apparently a previous owner years ago had some type of phone here in the laundry room, which is kind of weird. But anyway, I'm going to show you real quick how to cover this up the cheapest way possible as a homeowner. So the first thing I did was I put pencil lines on where I want to cut my drywall at. Okay, and you see there's no stud here, so I had to find the studs, and I did that with a stud finder, which I already did. And you can actually go in here and feel where they are over on the sides, because we're going to need to attach drywall to that. So I'm going to just stuff these wires back in here, these old wires, because I don't really need them. And I'm going to try to do this job with one hand like I always do. So you're supposed to have a tool like a drywall cutter, they call it. It's like a little saw that you go across with, and it cuts it real easy. Well, I let somebody borrow mine, and I don't know who it was to get it back. So I'm just going to use a nice strong knife. And I'm just going to start and make sure there's no wires behind it. This is the hard way. But hey, I don't have to go buy one. And as you see, I'm just cutting all the way through, and I'm going to do the outline all the way around. And make sure there's no wires behind it, you know, before you start doing this. Okay? So guys, just take what my word for what it is. I mean, there's 100 ways to do this. Professionals probably do it a lot better, but I'm not paying somebody to come out here and do something small like this. So as you can see, and don't worry about how pretty it looks, because we can put some drywall compound around that and level it out and then sand it down. See, there was wires back here, but when I was cutting, I kind of held them back to make sure I didn't hit them with a knife or anything. And you can see I'm exposing this stud, this wooden stud, and I'm going to do the same on this side. So I had to keep cutting this little bit of stuff out. I'm just cleaning this out, and if any drywall falls down in there, that ain't a big deal. It's going to be kind of messy, especially the way I'm doing it. And we want this as even as possible so we can put our new piece in. Now, some people are going to complain on how I'm doing this with a knife, but I don't care. You know, do your own video. I don't really need your comments. But for somebody who have to go out and buy those special tools for one little job right now, it's not worth it. I really don't know why I'm showing you something so a cheesy way to do it, but just that's how you got to do it in front of the stud. Break it off here. Now I got to clean all this out. Now I can take my utility knife and just kind of cut. I just couldn't do it through this thickness with this. Just going to break it. Alright, so I just took a vacuum cleaner and just sucked all that dust out of there. Alright, now we got to measure it and cut a piece. I'm out here in my work shed, and I've already measured out what I need, 16 3/4 by 5 inches. I have this old piece of drywall that I had from a previous job. This is the back of the drywall, and I'm simply going to take a that cheesy utility knife I have and make a slit here and along here. I might have to cut it all the way across so that I can kind of snap it off. See how it goes. So that's all I'm doing, is just taking it down the pencil line. So I'm just going as deep as I can into the drywall and across the pencil line I made. Alright, now I'm going back through. You can see it's starting to break. I'm just going back through, getting a little bit more on there. Okay, I turned it over to the drywall side, actual part that you see. See how it's doing that? And I'm just going to start cutting down this a little bit, because I don't want this to be tearing up and looking too bad. I've cut it. Let's see if this thing fits the way that I want it to. Let's see. Take a little mallet and tap it in a little bit. Get it nice and flush. worry about all this stuff. We're gonna put some compound around that and smooth it out to where we can cover these holes so we can paint it. Now you can see I marked with a pencil where the middle of my studs were on each side. I don't even have drywall screws. I'm actually using deck screws right now. My goodness. Maybe you don't want to follow this video, but at least I'm giving you an idea of how to do it a poor man's way. I tell you what, the deck screws go in super easy, especially into that stud. Just do it nice and slow, tight. Alright guys, now this is actually just getting funny. This is what you should be using, all-purpose joint compound. But I opened this up. I can't get it back open. It's all dried up. So, don't follow this. I'm going to use spackling. Remember, this is just a laundry room, okay? So as you can see, I'm just taking a big glob of it, throwing across these seams with this stuff. Oops. And just trying to smooth it out with this. You know, if this was inside my house, of course I wouldn't be doing it like this. Inside where somebody would see a lot. They even sell these rollers where you can make a texture on your own just for little spot repairs and stuff to match this, I forget what this is called, eggshell. Alright, this spackle dries quick, so just taking this and smoothing it out over it. Okay. And this stuff turns white when it's done. See how it's starting to turn white up here? When this dries, I'm going to do another coat. Get these seams covered, and then I can sand the whole thing down nice and smooth. Hey, it works, you know. I'm back here at the wall. You can see this stuff dried. It dries really fast, but it's still, you know, not that great the way I want it to be. So I'm going to re-putty it again, and then get it nice and flat, and then sand it, and hopefully it'll look a lot better. At least good enough for a laundry room. So I'm just doing the same thing. Just gonna put some more of this stuff on here to cover these indentations. Okay, so I'm just covering these, trying to make it nice and smooth. And when I come by with my sander, it's going to smooth all this out. This stuff's going to dry quick. Okay, now I'm going to wait for that to dry, and then I'm going to take some sandpaper and just sand it all nice and down. Actually, I have a sander I might use. But remember guys, this is a poor man's job. This is if you're broke or something and you're just using the stuff you have left in your house or whatever. Because like I said, this is a laundry room. You can even hear the washing machine going. I would do something totally better if it was inside where people see it all the time. But because this stuff I used here, it's like the same stuff you would use to fill in little tiny nail holes. That's mainly what it's for, just little spackling. Not really made for something this big. Alright guys, now it's time to make a little bit of a mess with some sanding. I have an electric sander, but you could probably do it by hand. This is just some really fine sandpaper, and I'm just going to go over all this, make it nice and smooth. Smoothing it out. that looks pretty decent. It's all blended in nice. Now remember, I told you can get a paint roller, and I said eggshell earlier. I meant orange peel on this particular type of texture. They have other ones, knocked down, whatever. But and you take it and dip it, and you just roll it on here, and it makes it look like that. Let that dry, and it'll cover up any imperfections. And then I'm just going to paint it, the whole wall, same color, and this thing will look good as new. I don't think I need to show you how to do that, because if you don't know how to paint or look, you probably shouldn't be messing with doing drywall. Alright, so there you go, guys. It's going to look good as new when this all painted and everything. And I left these 2 holes here because I'm putting a shelf in. I already started up here. And then, but once this is all done, then I'm going to put the anchor supports right there into the studs. So anyway, like I said, this is a poor man's job, under $10 probably, so save your comments for yourself and make your own video, like I said. But hope that helps. At least you have the concept of how to do it if somebody stupidly comes over and makes a hole in your wall. All right, y'all have a good time. Good night. Bye.